Summary: The Bookseller, heart-pounding psychological thriller by Valerie Keogh. Valerie Keogh, proven master of psychological thrillers and #1 best-selling author, delivers yet another gripping and suspenseful novel in 2025 with The Bookseller, promising to be nail-biting read that will appeal to fans of Freda McFadden and Lisa Jewell. This novel delves into the dark complexities of past that refuses to stay buried in the desperate measures one take to protect fragile new beginning. The core of the story revolves around Helen Appleby, woman seeking refuge and fresh start, only to find her carefully constructed peace threatened by shadowy force determined to expose her secrets and dismantle her life. The premise: new start built on shaky ground. The narrative introduces us to Helen Appleby, character burdened by dark past and desperate longing for quiet, unassuming existence. Her recent release from prison for the manslaughter of her partner casts a long shadow over her, constant reminder of past mistakes, all of them that she yearns to forget and leave behind. This desire for anonymity and clean slate drives her to seemingly idyllic new venture, opening Bookshop. For Helen, the bookshop isn't just business. It's envisioned as sanctuary haven where she can hide away from the real world and begin again. The quiet shelves and the comforting presence of books represent an escape place where she believes she can finally find happiness, even if it's the blurb hints it is. All eyes. This immediately sets tone of unease, suggesting that Helen's piece is built on foundation of self-deception and hidden truths. The act of choosing Bookshop as her refuge is symbolically rich. Books are repositories of stories, both real and imagined, and for Helen they offer chance to rewrite her own narrative, or at least to conceal the chapters she wishes to erase. The tranquility of book-filled environment contrasts sharply with the turmoil within her and the violence she is capable of. The lingering shadow of the past. The central conflict of The Bookseller is succinctly established, but the past can never stay hidden. This phrase underscores the inevitability of confrontation. Despite Helen's earnest attempts to bury her history and assume the guise of timid bookseller, someone or something is relentlessly pursuing her. The blurb states that it seems that someone is determined to sabotage Helen's new life and ruin everything she's built. This external introduces a layer of mystery and suspense. Who is this saboteur? What is their motive? Are they connected to her past crime, or is it new enemy emerging from her attempt at fresh start? The whispering through the shelves metaphor powerfully conveys the insidious nature of Helen's past. It's not sudden dramatic revelation, but creeping, pervasive presence that permeates her new sanctuary. This suggests gradual unraveling, where subtle acts of sabotage and unsettling events escalate, forcing Helen to confront the very demons she tried to outrun. The psychological tension will likely build as Helen becomes increasingly paranoid, unsure of who trust in whether her new life is truly secure. The reader is invited to question not only who is tormenting Helen, but also the veracity of Helen's own perception of events. Is she truly victim, or is her past catching up to her in ways she fully understands? The stakes, return to violence. The most chilling revelation in the blurb, and the core of the psychological thriller aspect, is the stark warning. But Helen has killed once before, and to protect her future, she could be willing to kill again. This statement elevates the stakes dramatically. It confirms that Helen is not merely former prisoner but proven killer, in the crime of manslaughter, while perhaps implying lack of malice aforethought, still points to capacity for lethal action. This knowledge the reader to reevaluate Helen's character. Is she victim deserving of sympathy, or dangerous individual capable of repeated violence? This threat of repeat violence creates immense tension and moral ambiguity. Helen's desire for quiet life is juxtaposed with her inherent capacity for brutality. The question then becomes, what will push her to that point again? What does she perceive as sufficient threat to her future that warrants another act of violence? This sets up a thrilling cat-and-mouse game where the reader is left to wonder if Helen is the hunter or the hunted, and whether her desperate attempts to protect her new life will lead her back down path of destruction. It also raises questions about the nature of true change and whether one can ever truly escape their past actions and innate tendencies. The author, Valerie Keogh's signature style. The blurb heavily emphasizes Valerie Keogh's reputation as #1 bestseller and the queen of psychological thrillers. The inclusion of glowing reader reviews further reinforces her standing in the expected quality of The Bookseller. Phrases like compelling narratives and twisty plots. What an ending. I was not expecting that to happen. Enthralling and deliciously wicked, a master storyteller, and this is masterful performance, and a definite 5 stars all point to Keogh's consistent ability to craft suspenseful, unpredictable stories with shocking twists. This suggests that The Bookseller will likely feature intricate plotting. The mystery of who is sabotaging Helen and why will be central, with red herrings and unexpected revelations. Psychological depth. The novel will delve into Helen's psyche, exploring her guilt, her fear, her determination, and potentially her capacity for manipulation or violence. High stakes and suspense, the constant threat to Helen's new life, and the possibility of her resorting to violence will keep readers on the edge of their seats. Unpredictable twists. As highlighted by reader comments, Keogh is known for her unexpected endings and plot turns, ensuring that the resolution of the bookseller will be anything but straightforward. The mention of domestic noir in one review also hints at themes often found in this subgenre. Secrets within seemingly ordinary lives, the dark side of human relationships, and the psychological unraveling of characters under pressure. Helen's past involvement, partner leading to his manslaughter, perfectly aligns with this. Themes and expectations. Based on the synopsis, the bookseller is poised to explore several compelling themes. Redemption versus inevitability. Can someone truly escape their past and achieve redemption, or are they forever bound by their previous actions? Identity and deception. Helen's attempt to portray herself as timid bookseller highlights the theme of assumed identity and the lies we tell ourselves and others to cope or survive. Guilt and consequence. The aftermath of her crime and the constant threat of exposure will likely force Helen to grapple with the emotional and psychological consequences of her actions. Survival and self-preservation. Helen's willingness to kill again suggests primal instinct for survival, the lengths to which a person might go to protect what they perceive as their last chance at happiness. The nature of truth. The blurb statement, even if it is all lies, implies that the truth, both about Helen and her situation, will be elusive and perhaps even distorted. The novel is expected to be fast-paced, character-driven thriller relying heavily on psychological tension and the unreliable nature of memory and perception. The reader will be immersed in Helen's desperate struggle, constantly questioning her innocence and her true motives, while simultaneously trying to uncover the identity of person or persons threatening her. Conclusion. The Bookseller by Valerie Keogh promises to be a gripping psychological thriller that delivers on the author's reputation for compelling narratives and shocking twists. It presents protagonists desperate for a fresh start, haunted by violent past and facing relentless antagonists determined to unravel her carefully constructed new life. The chilling possibility of Helen resorting to violence once more adds a layer of dark intrigue, making this must-read. And to enjoy exploring the darker aspects of human nature and the unsettling reality that some secrets refuse to stay buried. Keogh invites readers to step into Helen Appleby's world where the quiet comfort of books cannot silence the whispers of bloody past and where the fight for future might just demand another life.